When it gets on to it, he decides to go for power. It's a really emphatic finish. It gives the team like no chance. Is there another time left for a response? What leads to something? The definition of taking over the team. One of the things they're going back to it's more about the opposition tactic. It would be a real handful. It's still be giving it to them. The opposite scored the winning goal. But it was his own real performance to stress me most. He was on break. Joined by Steve Smith in the commentary position. And every reason to believe we're in for an entertaining match here. It's Real Madrid, and they take on Liverpool. and he's not against putting it in. Plenty of power in the effort, but just wide. Goal kick it is. Five divisions, and they're playing with three strikers in attack. Now, here they go. It's not broken up.
There's no sense of opponents and they just lack that bit of quality in game.
Now, this has to be. We haven't had to work on for the opening goal. Let's 1 minute. We're out of finding spots. In Romania. That's impatience, but police provide an equalizer. Holding lost it. It's set is over. It's not it. There it ends. It's over. Really quickly, fantastic. We go. Maybe that's not the phone.
Alexa, stop działa.
Rolling the deck. No, out from the ball. Not to be from our line. That's one of the very important components.
Well, I'm sure they're going to be looking to build on that in the second half.
Alexa, stop the alarm.
closer.
Dispute.
It's that amazing.
It's not long to go.
Alexander.
And that's it. All square at the bullseye. That's probably
Motion detected at the photo.
Wow. Oh, this is lovely. I was able to stream from my heart for 42 minutes, even at this time of the day. This is awesome, man. This streaming to the YouTube. Can you see this is YouTube? So let's say I want to take it public. People can be using my heart to stream to YouTube effortlessly.
Is it for free?
Yeah.
Is it for free?
There's free plan and there's premium plan. Alexa, turn on living room now.
Okay.
What's the door when you're using the bathroom? What's the door when you're using the bathroom? I don't care.
Hello, what's going on there?
To close the door while using the bathroom. No.
Hello, bí go ẹ ká sùn. Ẹ wò ó, wọ́n sùn lọ ní jàre, màá ṣe láìpẹ́ sí ẹni fún mi. Hey! Mi ò sùn mọ́jú so mi àti bá ti ráyè má tó ìgbà. Ó dáa, bàbá ẹ sọ. Okay. Answer. Wow. Bàbá Olúwakun. Èmi. Ọ̀nà.
Everyone wants it. Daddy, I know what 15 plus 15 is.
What is it?
30.
Yeah.
Because 1 plus 1 equals 20. 10 plus 10 equals 20. And 5 plus 5 equals 10. And 20 plus 5 is, 20 plus 10 equals 30. Or you can just count in your 5 until you get to 15. 5, 10, 15.
You're so smart, son.
5, 10, 15, and then count it in
So what, Tope?
5,
I'll
10,
change my mind.
20.
You are not going anywhere again. Is that clear? Once you are done eating, go to your room. Go and sleep. What Ansel is not doing, you are doing it. I don't know why you are acting like you do. I'm not going anywhere with you again today.
Daddy, you told me until.
No.
Oh.
Please, get your shawarma, eat and go to your room. Go and read something. And go to your room. I don't want to see you downstairs. Spoke to you like someone that has brain. You go home, you are giving me all sorts of attitude. Eat your food and go to bed. And don't come downstairs again. Is that clear? Get your shawarma. What do you want to eat?
Bread.
You do not have bread in the morning. There's no price there. I can't do it. Yeah?
What time is it? Daddy. Daddy, what do you need to talk to people?
It's a hairphone. My very expensive hairphone, okay?
Okay. How much does it cost?
It's very expensive.
Okay. Mine cost 1 million.
Why now you want to have lesson? You'll be saying you can't have your pencil. Is this not pencil? Have what's it called? If you want,
You were going to say something.
What was that?
You were going to say I could eat and then you
Okay, let me get your bread. Are you enjoying it? Let me taste it. Mm. Okay.
Okay.
Are you feeling this? Yes.
Is it going to come like again?
You want egg?
I'm just going to eat your next one.
Okay, give me one. What? Wash. What is back? Where's the basket to bring? Where is it? Do you want? Ẹ kó àwọn pẹ́ẹ́tì fún nílẹ̀ tí wàá tọ́pẹ́. I don't want to see any toy on the floor.
And where are the pencils? Darker. God damn.
Did you show me very tall?
I don't see the pencil. Oh, wow. Oh. Daddy, where's the pencil?
Open my drawer now. Don't you see
I
those?
don't use this for my own.
I don't. That's the ones I saw. I don't know pencil. I'll let your mom wakes up. Tell her to do what.
It's not about trying to. It's not about checking. I read the Bible saying I didn't see it, I didn't mention it. But here's the problem. Unfortunately, we thought that when they had become certain, we were chasing after things that were going to give us what we actually, which is also fine.
And the thought that I've always struggled with is the odds of being released. Maybe something to say to what's written.
Many times, especially struggle and pain and suffering. Well, absolutely. We're seeing examples. There are moments where anything.
When you're done eating, go and sleep, okay? You need some rest. Okay? So when you wake up, you'll be looking good, yeah? You'll be happy with yourself. Okay? You know you've been playing at school. And are you not tired? Akika.
Guys, I've got a quick favour to ask you. We're approaching significance of relevance during the show, and roughly 69% of you that listen and watch the show haven't yet subscribed for whatever reason. If there was ever a time for you to do us a favour about having anything, basically hit the subscribe button, It means so much to myself and also to the team because when we hit these milestones, we go away as a team and celebrate. And it's the thing, the simple frequency thing you can do to help make the show a little bit better every single week. So that's a favour I would ask you. And if you could hit the subscribe button, I won't let you down and we'll continue in small ways to make this whole production better. Thank you so much for being part of this journey. It means the world. And yeah, let's do this. Wesley, I have this fascinating graph in front of me. Yeah. And it shows several things that I find to be really, really interesting. One of them is that as of 2024, of religion has started to now 60% of the US identify as Christian, which is roughly 2025 Bible studies 1 year high in the United States, 19. So we Bible reading US adults increased to 42%, which is up 12% since 2024. And in 2024, Christian government research in the US is roughly 20% according to. What is going on in society if we zoom out?
I think we're in a unique where we found ourselves in a time frame where we're connected.
Bye, Daddy.
Alright, son, I love you.
We've kind of come
Get some rest, okay?
Maybe I might wake up in the night again.
Yeah.
Sam Harris, Chris Reagans, and they made a big impact. Sure, yeah.
Screen shows it's in the form of new atheism.
Yeah.
I was pulled in by new atheism, and that meant that again, I should probably preface my biases and questions. I grew up in a very Christian soul. Things have changed years ago, consuming all this stuff. Dawkins and Higgins and Harris and all these people. And then I found myself at a point now where I'm just open-minded and curious. But I have lots of questions.
Yeah, you had these individuals who were writing these very influential works, but I sometimes wondered whether it is a lot more effectively read than it did in actual. The application of the things that were being talked about, especially in regards to meaning, if you apply ideas like being a product of time that's found in the sheds, what does that actually give you in terms of the ultimate identity of students? And so I think that's true in a lot of circumstances where you have these seeds that are planted and they grow, they produce trees that produce fruit that are kind of hard to digest in their actual application. And along with that, we have a world that's very complex. We're more connected than we ever have been. I don't know if we're truly ready to as much information as we do, especially about things that are going on around the world and things that are hard to comprehend. All kind of adds up to people asking.
Alexa, make living room lamp white.
Actually find out the answers to a lot of these questions that just go beyond here and now that I'm experiencing. This is what individuals like Jim Casey have called the dynamics of disenchantment, where people are struggling with certain questions that are metaphysical, that go beyond just the here and the now world. Why is the 3 pounds of gray matter complexities of the universe? How do I come up with a solution to that problem? So I think that's part of it. I think it's kind of moving on in a world that just is probably more messy than it's ever been. A lot of countries, the UK, Europe, Canada, America, all of these Western countries, they were founded on these Judeo-Christian things of foundation where we come from. It's what we call the Bible. And a lot of people kind of attempted to divorce the religious aspect from the societies. And societies became less and less overtly religious in those natures. And then a lot of people saw their parents or church, school, and I talk to people, and they say, It's almost like a rebellion against their parents. They're now interested. Their parents rebelled by disassociating from it. And now I wonder if there's something back and reclaim some of them. I don't know what's going on. It's some racism. It's full of individualistic didn't know it was remotely stand on your own 2 feet. And we're even seeing people getting into sort of relationships later and later in their lives and having as children. So they're more, it appears that people are more they've ever been, and that was to some degree glamorized. But it also appears that when we are, and I feel like we have responsibilities, we're not trying to do something, mental health issues are quick to follow. Yeah. For this generation, are suffering the most with those types of so then what would assert that they're therefore searching answers to some of these existential questions. Expressive individualism. I think it wrote that's a kind of terminology in sociological literature they're referred to. But I think you touched on a big point in that, like, as we moved on, part of the intellectual enlightenment was that we would move away from shackles of religiosity and the concept of creator, and that would lead us into a utopia. And I think the more and more we've removed that from society, that hasn't decreased our levels of anxiety and depression and meaning. I think it's increased. Yeah, and especially celebrity worship, social media, building a following of your own, something like sort of low-key narcissism. Yeah. That's made us more and more and more important. And that seems to correlate with worse and worse and worse mental health when you start to become more individualistic and think more and more about self and self-importance versus others and bigger picture. I think we're created for community. I think we are, as human beings, a creature that is created for humanity. Ultimately, like cards on the table as a Christian, because I believe we are created in the image of God, exists in the sacrament of God. Like that's what the Trinity is. So, talk about
Alexa, come off living room now.
theology. Exists in and so being created in the image of God, part of that is you were created for relationship. And so in a society that's continually removing us, you need to be an influencer. You're influencing everybody else. When I think we're not created to be lone wolves or lone rangers. We're created to live amongst community and have that be something that likewise gives us. It's not that people who are leaders or rise to the top of wrong and stretch, but in a society where we're alone together because we are sitting behind computer screens and we're talking to hundreds of thousands of millions of people in some cases, we're secluded. I think that does something to our souls because we were made to be in relationship with other people. I agree with everything you said as it relates to the sort of crisis of meaning. It's also very recesses. The part that I've always struggled with is then the answer being Christianity. Sure. Sure. And I agree with so many things you've said, but then my brain has, I think, especially after the age of 18, when I started reading about these stuff, these questions, and am I going to hell? All these other things, I'm not able to get there. But I'm having this conversation with you today because I am going to look at difficult questions. So I'm in pursuit of the truth. I need your answer. So how do you it believes that there's something transcendent, a crazy thing to assume that this is it. How do you take from this position to believing that what's written in this book in front of me is the thing that should guide my life, right? Because I say that the specifics again. I think I require a really high standard of evidence. Curious. Yeah. I think there's a historical case for it, which I'm very much invested in because my training is in historiography, ancient biblical manuscripts, and their kind of reliability and fidelity over the last couple of millennia. So looking at some of those manuscripts that actually can trace back to the actual time frame of Jesus, and answer questions like, is what we have now what the original was? So I think there's a historical question to it. And I, in my personal investigation, genuinely think that gets us back to not only the time frame of Jesus, but to early eyewitness testimony that proclaims that this first century Jewish itinerant rabbi, walking against the streets of first century, made these claims, and then there's sufficient evidence to say that he predicted his own death and resurrection, did it?
How do I know Jesus Christ was real? And then how do I know what's written in that book is real versus just some guy stuff years ago made a book?
Yeah, so that is a question of historical reliability. So there are a couple different ways we can go about it. First, we have 4 biographical accounts of Jesus, which is very unusual. So we call them the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Those aren't actually our earliest sources for the life of Jesus. That comes from the person of Paul. Paul is actually writing before the Gospel accounts. And he is someone who was hostile originally to Christian message, and he's persecuting Christians. He comes along and he has this radical conversion experience when he's traveling to Damascus, where he says he's literally thrown off a horse. He hears God's voice, and it's Jesus, and he says, Paul, why are you persecuting? And then he writes these things about his experience, and then ultimately goes and connects with the individuals who are, we call the disciples, who are like this close Jesus community, and connects with them. So he's our earliest source, but then you have these gospel accounts, these biographies. And the gospels are interesting because they fit within the historical framework of ancient Greco-Roman biography. So let me give you an example. The most well-known person in Jesus' day is the emperor, and his name is Tiberius. Tiberius has 4 biographical accounts that are written about him. Well, he has Tacitus. So this is the 4 hymns, okay? And what's interesting in terms of sort of a comparative analysis of Jesus and those people is that they're all writing around the same time. So the biographies are coming from the first century for Jesus. They're coming in this time period where you have an early eyewitness testimony. For the most well-known person in the ancient world, for Valerius Paterculus are coming from the 2nd century. Valerius Paterculus isn't coming from the 1st century, it's very close to the source, but he's a paid propagandist. So even though he's the earliest, he's the least reliable. And for the Gospels, that comes around the 4th century. So there's a comparison with the source material for someone like Jesus, even though we really shouldn't have anything about him, because he's kind of a nobody from nowhere in terms of the Roman Empire and the grand scheme of things. But we have a phenomenal amount of source information for him. So,
I mean, this is one of the things that really everybody kind of agrees that he was a guy called Jesus from Nazareth, and that he was a real historical person. I guess the part in dispute was whether things like his resurrection actually happened, or whether he was just a spiritual leader back then, like we have spiritual leaders today. I think one of the things that I got really stuck on when I was reading about Jesus and the Bible was there appears to be quite a significant gap between his life, his death, and then writings that go into the Bible. And for me in my head, I was like, well, if something happened in my life 50 years ago, maybe 53, but if something happened 50 years ago, with all two accounts, frankly, I can't come up with last week accurately, right? Let alone like decades ago, how do you justify this movement?
yes.
How do you spur this out?
So there are 2 things going on. First, we live in a hyper-lyrical culture. We are writing it. The ancient world is far less clear. These stories are parents in large groups, and it's actually Jesus is actually written in a closer time frame than the majority of anyone else.
What's that gap?
It's about 40 to 60 years.
I really believe, I imagine there's people who saying that they never read one. I really think it's so
Yeah, so the Bible is, we now put in one book, is